Greetings. Greetings. Good afternoon, friends, family, colleagues, supporters, strangers. If you're here, welcome. If you're new, definitely welcome. If you've been to my channel before, welcome back. I did take a long break and now I am back online talking about the whole layoff process. So that is what we're going to be talking about today. And before we get started, I do just want to do just a tiny bit of housekeeping, some basic reminders. If you know me personally, you know my name. Please do not share that in the comments, in the chat. It is very important to maintain a degree of anonymity for my family. So I'm here to talk and share and connect. We just can't use my real name. Also, if you know where I worked, please do not share that either. I will not endorse negative discussion about the company or anything internal about the company publicly. So I want to make that clear, get that out in the open. So if you don't know where I worked, please don't ask because I won't say. If you do, you're probably bound by the same agreement to not talk about it that I am. So just, getting that out, up front. Next item that I want to mention is I'm not monetized. I don't have sponsorships. I don't have ad revenue. I do not have channel merchandise at this time. If I grow the channel and can get consistent with content and figure out where we want to go, maybe at some point, but as of right now, that is not something that we have available. So I am not monetized in any way. You may not even get me in the algorithm. It's my channel is that small. I have 14 channel subscribers. So we're just here to hang out and chat and talk about the life things. And this particular stretch, it is all about the unemployment and being laid off from my job of nearly 20 years. So if you've never been to my channel before, I'll give you a quick summary of what's happened. I was with my employer for nearly 20 years. 3 months shy of my 20-year anniversary, I was laid off in a workforce reduction and reorganization of the company. A lot of people know how that goes. We know that companies do these things. We know that from time to time, we're going to experience it. This is the first time I've experienced it from this side. I have been on the surviving side where I've lost coworkers and friends to the layoff. So, after nearly 20 years, it was my turn to be on the list. It was inevitable that I would eventually end up on that list. So here we are, day 16. And yes, I am counting my original layoff date on the 2nd because I was laid off barely a half an hour into my shift first thing in the morning. So let's talk about what's happened since my last update. So I believe I did get an update in, and my phone keeps dinging at me like a doorbell. I'm not sure what's happening here. So I did get my unemployment application filed. A couple of days ago, I also got an email requesting more information, and they wanted me to upload some additional documents. So if you also have been laid off or find yourself going through this process, I just want you to know that you need to be prepared if you apply for unemployment to fill out the same information several times over. Now, I'm not sure why they needed to send me that extra questionnaire with the exact same questions from my original application, but they did, and they requested for me to upload my documentation. So what that means is my final paycheck statement and my severance agreement. So if you have a severance agreement, even if it hasn't paid out at the time you apply, you may still need to have a copy ready to upload. So make sure that if you get it in an email or a PDF or a DocuSign, make sure you save a copy to your computer. Same thing with your pay statement. They will ask how many hours of vacation, sick time, holiday, any kind of PTO that you might have, how many hours, and they will ask for the dollar amount of that pay. They will ask for the amount and date your severance applies, when you expect to receive any severance, if you expect to receive any. They want all the details. Again, the dollar amounts, the number of the number of days, the amount paid per hour, the number of hours you worked in a typical week, all of it. So you may have to do a little math if your pay statement doesn't break it down for you. Then signing up for the job search. I may have mentioned this last time, but the job search through the state is wild. Nothing in the job titles that were similar to my job title had a description that matched what I did. I did customer care, quality assurance, reading emails, listening to phone calls, auditing ticket processes, coaching, among other various tasks and job functions. So I um, so I was not able to find any coordinating descriptions. Anything that matched my job title did not match my function. Anything that matched my function had a similar title, which is what I went with. I found something by playing around with um, with titles. I finally, with the help of a friend who gave me several suggestions, try this, try that, um, did find a couple of job titles that matched my job description, but they were not what you would expect at all. And that's okay, as long as they can steer me towards the right kind of jobs, because the job descriptions that matched my title were all either programming or manufacturing, and product testing. Not what I did at all. So that was interesting. So, also, I do believe I mentioned having a phone screening. And I was going to, I don't remember if my update was before or after my phone screening. It did go well. Yesterday, I also met with my career transition coach. Highly recommended. Any former colleagues with the same company, you know what I'm talking about. Use it. She was very helpful. She helped me with some advice about my resume. Even the one I put in ZipRecruiter. I plugged all my information into ZipRecruiter and let their AI system build me a resume. And that's what I gave her to work with. Throwing it out. She provided me with a great template and some structural tips, as well as suggestions for consolidating the content and getting the maximum amount of information into the least amount of words to describe my lengthy experience. So I'm excited to have some help with that. I haven't had to apply for a job in 20 years, other than internally with my previous employer. And, I knew what to put on my resume. I, I'd worked there. I knew what they were looking for. I knew what the interview process was going to be like. So it's very helpful because other employers will be looking for different things, both in terms of resume and interview. So um, I did have my first session. If you ever have the opportunity to work with a career transition coach, because you're in a layoff situation, do it. I will say I meant to look up what it usually costs to hire one on your own, because I don't know. My company did provide that for me. Let's see, cost. Doing a quick Google search here. Uh, okay. Ooh, so I did get a sponsored result saying it starts about $500 per person. I have an AI overview here that says the range genuinely, or yeah, the cost can range between $75 to $500 per hour, um, or $1,000 to $5,000 for like a whole package. So I don't know how much mine is costing due to company provision, but I will say whatever they're paying is probably worth it. She's also going to help me update my LinkedIn profile and um, discuss interview strategies, how to update and tailor my resume for specific job types that I'm looking for that may match my experience in a different way than the title that I've had. So she's also gave me some tools to the company's website, her company that she works for, their website with webinars and templates and a whole variety of extra tools. So that's what I will be doing this weekend. Um, I will be working on updating my resume and sending it back to her for reviews. So she can let me know what I need, what else I need to do to make it more appropriate for the modern job search. So transitioning to that particular topic, there's a lot of AI involved in the modern job search. Whether you're applying on Glassdoor or LinkedIn or Indeed, or going straight to the company, the website for the company you want to apply for, count on your resume being reviewed by AI before it ever gets to a human. And AI will kick out a lot of resumes so that they will never be seen by a human. So getting some assistance in that department, I'm choosing to make the most of it. You do what you want to do, but I highly recommend, if you have the option, use it. If you don't, it's kind of pricey from what we just saw. Maybe, maybe go to YouTube and find some professionals there who can help. There's one guy I've been listening to for a couple of years. His channel is called Life After Layoff, or A Life After Layoff. Anyway, check him out. He's a former corporate recruiter, and he also talks a lot about these things, the job search process, what some companies are doing to expedite the process or make it more difficult. He does talk a lot about the corporate environment. So do go check him out. and I know there are several others. I took a webinar the other day. I don't remember her name. She did a master class on resume writing, and it was pretty good. I do find that my career transition coach, direct interaction, was better for me. A webinar might be better for you, direct interaction might be better, but if a program or a coach isn't available to you, whether it's just time, cost, or whatever, there are options available. YouTube has been super helpful for me in that regard. And just general tips and tricks that you can pick up from corporate professionals. So I do remember the last update. I also mentioned going to a job search assistance event. I did not go. I actually stayed home with the intention of giving myself a break, a day off. And that's when I got the email from the unemployment office that I had to spend time with that. And therefore, I did not go do the event. I stayed home and focused on um, the more pressing matters, which, hey, great. Happy to happy to do it. I want my unemployment check. I'm not going to lie about that. It is something employers pay into. It is not just a government handout, if you will. Having been a small business owner and having had to pay into it, I understand a little bit more about it than some people might, but it's effectively an insurance policy that the employer pays into for situations like this. Should they have to shut down um, for an extended period of time, go out of business, lay people off due to a workforce reduction, and as long as you um, qualify, then and jump through all the hoops. Got to jump through all the hoops. But when you qualify and you jump through the hoops, you get the money. But it is something that the employers pay into. It's not just a handout. So if anybody tries to make you feel bad, they're wrong. The unemployment that you collect is something your employer has paid into to help cover these kinds of circumstances. Now, there is a limit. No argument, no mistake about it. There is a limit to how much you can get and how long you can receive payments. And you do have to jump through all the hoops. So that's my next update. Having jumped through the hoops and doubled back and jumped through a couple a second time, I am probably going to have to drive to my assigned unemployment office to get a question answered. This was crazy. So I did find the online request for direct deposit instead of the EBT card. If they give you a card, then you have to keep the card, and you have to go to the ATM if you need to get the cash. I'm not excited about that. I'm rural. I don't have an ATM 2 blocks down the road. That's effort for me. So, and time out of my day for me to go even to the closest store or bank teller is at least a half an hour, maybe 20 minutes to get there and back. So it is an hour out of my day every time I leave my house to go somewhere, minimum. So I'm trying to get direct deposit. I get the form filled out. It's almost ready to print. And then I get to a question that I can't answer. They want to know the name and address of my bank. Name of my bank? Not complicated. I know where I bank. I can give them that much. The address. I don't know if they want the corporate headquarters, if they want a local branch. It's not clear, and there is no clarification. So I tried to call them. I tried to call 3 different offices. I not only didn't get an answer, I got filtered through an automated system. Press 1 for this, press 2 for that. For all other things, press 4 kind of thing. So I pressed the appropriate number. It referred me back to their website and disconnected the call. Not excited. So I will probably print the form out and drive an hour away to go to my assigned office to ask them what address I'm supposed to use. Please tell me that is not as dumb as it gets. Waste of time, waste of gas, when they could just simply have said corporate headquarters, local branch. They know how many banks there are in this country. They know that every bank has a bazillion locations. Couldn't they be just a little bit clear? So I was a little frustrated with that. I decided not to make that drive today and ruin everybody's Friday. So I will probably do that on Monday. And then I think that's about the end of my updates. It's been a busy week. Some of it was a little inane and redundant, but jumping through the hoops. I want the money. It's not a lot, but it's helpful. It will at least pay the utilities and basics. Not including my mortgage, but that's another story. But it will at least cover the other expenses like my car insurance, my phone bill, my utilities, and those kinds of things. So I'm going to take it and make the most of keeping on top of my bills without having to tap into savings if I can. That's me. I'm not going to judge anybody for what they do with their unemployment check because it's yours. If I find a job before my severance runs out, same thing. Extra money, have to put some aside to pay the taxes. Unemployment is taxable income, by the way, which doesn't make sense to me because it is also an insurance policy, and usually insurance is not taxable. But for whatever reason, they've deemed unemployment to be taxable income. So if you do apply for unemployment, keep that in mind. Now, on to fun things. I received a text the other day that my yoga studio is having an art show tomorrow night. I was hoping to get in as a vendor, but I think I learned about it a little too late. And so I may just go for fun to get out of the house, because the only time I have been anywhere since my layoff is when I took my equipment back to the office and I hung out in town for a while on that day. But that's been a whole week, almost 2. So I'm going to get out and have some fun. Anyway, if you're still with me, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for all the support. And as I go through the process, I will share more tips and suggestions as I learn things. So please come back, visit. I love these chats. And yes, sometimes I'm here without without a live chat taking place. But today I thought it was important to really discuss the importance of maintaining the anonymity, particularly when you're looking for a job. Employers will go out and look for your social media presence. So that is super important for me and a lot of people. So thank you so much for respecting that. And I look forward to our next little catch-up session. Have a great, amazing, fantastic, blessed weekend.